Man, welcome back. It's your boy back in the house again. Obviously, you're tuned in to the right place because this is the Pull Up Podcast Show, and I'm the one and only Coach Tony. Man, hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Thank you for hanging in there with me coming off a holiday weekend. Hopefully everyone had a great 4th of July. I celebrated it with the family, kind of went down and had to do some sports-related things and kick it down in Florida for a moment, but we're back in the house, and I am excited. I got my sidekick rolling with me tonight, Val the Voice. We'll bring her in here shortly, but we're going to kind of catch up on a couple of house notes. You know what those are, right? Make sure you, one, share the show, and you share with people that's going to reshare the show. Make sure you like the show. Give us thumbs up. Great sports podcast moving across the country. And more than anything, subscribe to the show as we continue to grow, and we can't do it without your help. So that's what we're talking about. But before we bring my girl Val out, you know what to do. Drop it. We're going to drop it in a minute. I swear we're going to drop it in a minute. Oh, well, while Val is working things out behind stage, trying to get everything pulled together, you know, had a great weekend. Man, let me know tonight, please, man. Throw your questions in the comment because we're going to take you guys from the grass at Wimbledon all the way back here to the States and the grass in the United States because the USA took a hard tumble. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very interesting how, we come down now to the final 4 teams left from FIBA. We talk about, Serena Williams, Coco Gauff, and my girl Osaka. They took some exits in Wimbledon, but we're going to discuss it and all that. But if Val's ready, let's go ahead and drop it, and we'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, as we get kicked off back here in early July. Man, we're coming down middle of the season here on the podcast, got about halfway through. And don't forget, I think we're going to run it early August, but please let me know if you're interested in being on the Fan Appreciation Show, because we're going to have some fun this year. We got a lot of good people, and I want to thank my guy, Jeff Hatch, who decided to come on and talk about his story, triumph, and resilience. Had a great time with him on the show, and it was great. And then, of course, my main man in them, Vince Lawrence, Mr. House Historian Chicago, just coming out the back of the Chicago Chosen Few House Picnic in Chicago. And I'm mad I didn't get a chance to get there. But before I talk about everything, bring my co-host, my sidekick to the show. Val, welcome to the stage, girl. What's happening?
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Man, I'm cool as the other side of the pillow.
Cool as the other side of the pillow. I don't know nothing about that. You funny.
Man, how was your weekend?
Busy. I can't. Part of my voice is still trying to come back. I'm known as Val the Voice, but Val the Voice has been fighting to keep her voice because we had a really good time. And when I traveled to Atlanta for the Podcast Summit, had a blast with Dave Shands and Donnie Wiggins and Omar, like all of these folks. E.T., the hip hop preacher.
Man,
all of the folks and Cynthia Respite, who is a part of the group that I'm a part of, Social Proof Circle, is brilliant when it comes to AI. And I am so grateful that I get a chance to work with someone that brilliant. She even has a separate community where she just kind of breaks things down. And so I really had a blast. And then there was my job. We had a quarterly meeting at a restaurant that I picked, but it took me 2 hours to get there because I was coming from the northwest side.
Right.
Never do that on Friday. I think I was talking to you about that, remember?
You have to use Waze. You use Coach Tony Waze. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm never ever in life.
I'm glad you got there. You saved some time, as a matter of fact. You probably got there a little bit earlier.
It was fine. And then the other fun thing that I did, there was a thing called the Rise. How ironic, the Rise tour. I thought about you. I thought about the Rise.
Okay.
Your company, but it's spelled Rize, and it's with Shavona. Oh, wait.
Oh, mine. That's It's probably spelled Rise.
Yeah, this was her event.
Okay, yeah,
Ashes to Aslet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was very impressed, and I think she's doing a tour of a lot of places, and this was Chicago. The DJ was really good, so yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that?
So this was at a place called 24 on Michigan Avenue, and wait, let me look and see what it was called. I was just listening. Row 24. It was called Row 24. That was it.
Yeah. I just listened to V103 the other night. They were talking about an early house party at Row 24.
Yeah, so that place is so nice.
I need to get a place some of these bars when I come in town, because I'm always in town trying to figure out where to go. I need to know what's happening, Val. You know what I mean?
And guess who I saw there?
Nah, you didn't see our man. What up, Doug?
Representing Detroit in the building. I mean, oh my gosh, this is such a beautifully put together book. I'm just saying.
Yes. I can't wait to get back up to Detroit to kick it with him again this year. I hope we get a chance to go back to the honorees this year. You know what I mean?
That would be phenomenal. And one of the honorees is in the chat. What's up, baby. Bella baby in the building? What's up? Yes. It is so good to see you. And then of course it's JR Nesbitt. He talking real stuff. I'm gonna just say real stuff.
That podcast. I like that, baby. Keep it real. I'm 100 out here. Keep that real shit going on it good. I feel man, keep it 100. Make sure you jump in on some of this conversation tonight, because we're gonna be all over the board. Want to make sure everybody is locked in with us.
All right, so Coach, I'm gonna ask like where we start, and I think
we're
covering a couple of things tonight, so you're gonna have to direct the traffic like this.
I want to be like, on 79th Street with my clothes on, with my what you call the safety patrol clothes on, with my belt, directing traffic from Dan Ryan back up 79th Street, because you got the bus depot right there. For those that don't know Chicago, but anyway, let's take a trip across the pond. The most exciting thing that I wanted to watch about it, I think everyone was locked in, was our girl Serena Williams. Back to the grass, back to Wimbledon. Win, lose, or draw. She was kind of like, you remember when Tiger got hurt and he came back and we were in awe because of the accident and all that, and then he came back to play his first tournament to get down at Augusta, and everybody was so pumped up to just see him play back on the PGA. But Tiger did some crazy things. But Serena, man, she played a young girl and got beat. But I'm talking about to see her just out there and what she stands for, the young people that are playing the game. And she got beat first round. The young lady that beat her was like, I think she said she was 10 or 12 years old at the time that Serena was still playing 10 or 12 years ago. So to see her up on that and just say, this is my idol, and then all of a sudden you open up in Wimbledon and your opponent is Serena Williams, man, how surreal would that be, Val?
I would really be freaking out, but then I would have to remove the fandom and go, I'm playing against her, or I will be playing against her, so I can't fan out. We have to do that after I beat her.
Right.
And this is posted on her Instagram. She said, it felt so good to be back on the grass at Wimbledon. I'm incredibly thankful for the wild card and even more grateful for my daughter. Got to see that it's never too late to chase something you love.
I love that.
She's a trailblazer, and we are so appreciative of everything that Serena has brought to the game, Coach.
Yeah, and her and Venus played well in the doubles, but it was so crazy. Now, I'm glad she put that statement out, Val, because they kept asking her about, how does she feel? What was she this? And she was like, I have nothing to prove. I only want to play because I want my daughters to see their mom play. The baby girl's never ever seen her play. She was a baby, you know what I mean? So she understands the game, and see them in the stands with her husband and all that, and just the crowd just roar when she came through those tunnels. It's kind of like the guy that always wishes to get to the NBA, and his first game is against the Bulls, and you looking across at Michael Jordan, right? You're like, damn.
Exactly.
Like Jesus is real.
I know. And you're thinking, what is this all about? But I think people forget how important it is to be able to compete at the level of Wimbledon. Now, I know it's over in England, but it's one of, I want to say, 4 to 6 tournaments that happen throughout the year. The French Open,
about 6, the French Open, Wimbledon, the U.S. Open. You got to go down to Spain and whatnot. They go down to Mexico. So they've got about 6 majors that's where the money is at.
Right. And I'm grateful to hear, I'm assuming, Coach, we talked about this a couple of months ago. Many of them were talking about walking off the grass because they weren't going to get paid. I think some things had to change around because they didn't want to lose their top people.
Yes. On the men's side of the house, my guy, I killed myself. I can't even think of the Spaniard's name. He didn't even play on the men's side of the house, and whatnot, even though Center won back-to-back against Djokovic. I watched that match yesterday, and it was crazy. But, the crazy part about Serena, what she said, Val, they could have put her anywhere. They put her back on center court. And for those that don't watch Wimbledon, center court is championship court. And they put her back on center court. And then the other thing was our girl made it back. I'm so glad after her 2 or 3 year hiatus, and she's doing great things now. Osaka, she upset Ariana Sabalenka. I watched that game and she dominated. And I'm like, okay, Osaka's back. So I'm thinking that she can have a possibility of really pulling off some great things. But Muchova ended up beating her. She made it down to the Elite Eight. And then Muchova ended up beating her, a young girl from the Czech Republic who went on to beat Coco. But I don't know if you got a chance to watch Osaka play, Val, but she looked good. This is only her second year back playing, since she took that mental stage off. And you and I talk about this all the time about athletes who have that mental situation, because you have to sometimes take a break.
And you know what? Honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I think I want you to be in the best mental state as possible, because competing at such a high level, especially a tournament like Wimbledon, I have to make sure I say it right. Wimbledon, you have to have your head on straight. And if you need the break, you take the break. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, you're going to miss out on all of your branding deals, and you're going to miss out on this, that, and the third. No, you're not. This, don't worry about the FOMO, fear of missing out. You're not going to miss out on anything. And if she came back strong.
Man, I love the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I think I'm gonna get a shirt and put that on, or a hat. I'm always up with the hats. And speaking of that, it's very difficult. Our girl, Coco Gauff is like 4-24 on the grass, and I really felt bad because my guest next week, my young girl, my client Malika Chinyeri, will be sitting in the house with us talking about her experience over in Belgium for the past month. But everyone is so high. And Val, I think you just hit it on the nail a moment ago when you was talking about Osaka and the brand deals. Coco is signed by New Balance. She's on her 3rd pair of New Balance shoes, and they're selling out the roof because of who she is. But she's kind of got a stigma with Wimbledon, and she, for whatever reason, she doesn't play well on the grass. And I hope she gets over it. She'll be back in, for the U.S. Open, the French Open, and so forth and so on. But for whatever reason, she just does not play well at Wimbledon. And she got also beat by Muchova, who went on to win it. So the one thing about Osaka and with Coco is they got beat by the eventual winner. You know what I mean? But I wish we had two African-American women playing in that semifinal. That'd have been dope. At least one of them would have been in the championship, win, lose, draw.
So as my friend JR said, listen, Black women unite. We got to unite when it comes to these things. And like I said, it's just great to see them return, even if they did not win and go all the way, because there's the U.S. Open is going to be happening next month in New York. I used to attend that. But as we wrap up the first quarter, Coach, I can't believe 15 minutes has gone by so fast. I'm excited to see what is going to be happening with tennis. And so it's summer. It's time to get out there and get that ball across the net.
Exactly. And I tell you, for promotional purposes only, I will tell you, if you're laying down some props, I would look at Serena will make a hard comeback because she's living in New York. So I guarantee you, Val, she probably flew back home and her husband is training right now. You will see her probably play better at the U.S. Open. And I guarantee Coco plays great on hard surfaces. And you will see those three back probably in the semifinals or finals again for U.S. Open coming up. But speaking of that, we're going to turn on a dime. We're going to talk about these boys on the U.S. FIBA. This, as the Americans say, soccer, but the world say football. You go.
It's soccer. It's called soccer.
And we call it soccer here. The world call it football, Val. You better get up on them things. We'll be right back with the second quarter on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, with my sidekick sitting right here, right in the pocket, right there. I'm pointing at Val the Voice Johnson. We'll be right back to quarter number 2. Val, pay some of these bills. The Rise, NIL. What are we? We're a sports marketing company brought to you in 2023, helping all of our athletes unleash their potential. We're in the sports world because what? The NIL, name, image, and likeness, is where the athletes play. So in order to do that, we want to make sure we help them maximize their earning potential, along with the brands that operate with them. So if you need to know some more information and how you can be a part of The Rise, reach out to us at information@therise.com or type in www.therisenil.com.
Hey, I'm Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. Every Monday, we break down the game quarter by quarter and give you information as well as break down the coach. Join us on the Pull Up Podcast Show.
Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my girl sitting sidekick. Val, I got to do something real quick. I got to send some shout outs to our old NCC alumni, my boy Daryl Hollywood Thomas sitting in the house, my little brother Pete Cologne, what's up? Corey Baker, Drew Hunter, all my boy Gerald, what's going on? Deanna, what's going on? Deidre, what's happening? You know, we all just sitting tight. You know, I've been back and forth with the old classmates and whatnot. It's been real good. And by the way, shout out to my guys, Morgan Park, class 86 in the mix, just came off of the cruise they had. I'll be home August for the class reunion. But Val, you know, I was really upset. All the sports going on, I get it.
Mm-hmm. And he got stuck. All right, he'll be back. We'll bring him back in a second when he figures out exactly what that's all about. Coach Tony and I, we love chit-chatting about sports. And for myself, the education in talking about basketball, I know he wants to go in that direction. He told me he wanted to cover soccer tonight. Is anyone keeping up with who's winning with soccer? I just want to know. Put it in the chat. And if you come from, or if your ancestors come from a country that is represented in FIBA, we would love to hear about it in the chat. Put it in the chat and let us know. And I'll see if Coach wants to, give a shout out to all of the countries that are still remaining in FIBA. But before we get back to that, I think Coach is back. Here we are. There we go.
And I apologize. We're going through what Chicago just went through a few weeks ago. We got tornadoes here in the local area here in Nashville. So just stay with us. Yes. Going through the tornado, but I'm still giving y'all the Pull Up Podcast show. You feel me? And Val is 100% correct. I had France from day one. I know I'm sitting in the USA, but I love the way I saw France play, and they are now in the semifinals. France versus Spain, which is going to be a heck of a game tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, 1:30 Central, followed by England and Argentina. So you still got my guy, Messi and Rolando just sitting up in there. They're favorites to meet each other. It would be fabulous to see Spain and Argentina because of the two guys, Rolando, like I said, and Messi, get a chance to play one another. But Val, one of the news reporters made a very good point this morning, and I never thought of it. The United States is celebrating what?
250 years of being a country. I'm going to celebrate Juneteenth by all the way. Go ahead.
Now, how would it be that England wins everything on the 250th anniversary of the United States, of which we broke away from them because they're the one who basically gave us our freedom? Would that not be crazy or what?
That would be bananas. And I that's something to think about because
they're the longest shot in the field right now, by the way. They're the longest shot. For promotional purposes only, Val, make sure I cover myself. For promotional purposes only, England is the longest shot in the tournament right now. So if you put all four teams together, England is the longest shot. Spain is number 3. France is 2, and followed by Messi and Argentina to win it right now. So if you really would like to take a long shot, man, England would be a great long shot for you to play.
Well, you know what? I think if you've been following what's been happening in soccer, because I have to say soccer. If I say football, I'm going to get confused and think about the NFL. I have to think about soccer, but I think I was rooting for Mexico, and then I was rooting for a couple of other countries, just because of not necessarily their players, but just kind of the aggression on the team. And here's the thing with football in the international sense. When I did the research about what soccer actually is, your hands can't touch the ball. Correct. Your feet are the only one. Is the direct opposite of football. There's no tossing it or throwing it and catching it like we do in American football. And I think I am excited to see, because you look at these guys, they're nothing but muscle, Tony, because they
got tall.
They're not that tall. You're right.
5'5" and 6'3", and if you like 6'4", 6'5", you a big guy like the dude up in Norway that they talking about, who was like the Viking of everything. But it's crazy, Val. I noticed that. And have you also noticed it ain't one damn fat guy on the field? I ain't seen one.
They can't be. You're joking around about it, Tony, but they cannot be heavy set. I'm sitting here and I'm like, how are they going to get the ball pass? And then of course,
first of all, have you ever running for 90 minutes? I mean, that's just a simple ass question. Have you ever went out to Chicago and just ran for 90 minutes?
No, I have never done that before in my life. I don't understand it. But here's the big thing. Now, FIBA happens every 4 years. Why is that, Coach?
Well, you got several things in between, Val. You have the Olympics, you have the World Game, and then you have the World for the FIBA. And you can't run them up against everything. So everything has a timing. So if you really look at it, it's really every 1.5 years, because you have the Pan American Games, you have the Olympics in between, then you have the World Cup. So, they have the other two in between, and the two most important medals obviously is the Olympic medal and then the World Games. But what's so crazy is when you look at these teams, Val, and these guys, it's crazy. I just argued with a guy the other day. All these big stars come next week, they'll get a week off. Once this week is done, they'll get a week off. So by end of the month, on my birthday, give or take, they'll be back in the United States, back on their American soccer team, And it's like they come back to the U.S. and they play in this soccer to make the money. But when the World Games start, they go back to their countries, which is kind of like with the Olympics. You go back to your country and represent your country.
Yeah. So I think I get that, but I think I really want to talk about now. I'm just gonna put this out here because now earlier in the season, Coach Tony and I were talking about the NBA. Eventually we'll get to that. But I was rooting for and praying for the Knicks to make it all the way to the championship, and they did. But there was that one game they lost. A certain orange president, I'm so sorry, a certain administrator intervened and came to Madison Square Garden, and the New York Knicks lost. So I'm trying to figure out, why would you intervene into FIBA and anger countries around the world? I'm so sorry, because you've pardoned or excused the red flag violation.
Well, and I
need you to explain all of that. I know that's what you want to talk about.
Because it makes me upset because the USA, first of all, on the kid's name is I think it's Florian Balogun. I think that's it. The star player for the US, the back guy. Let's rewind the tape. So he got caught on a situation where there was a loose ball. For those in football, basketball, hockey, whatever, a loose ball means, or a loose puck means, it's anybody's ball, anybody's puck, first person there. But Florian got there, Val, stuck his right leg out, happened to catch the defender. I think they was playing Bosnia at the time. And his right foot ended up on top of the ankle of the Bosnia player, which he turned his ankle. I get that, because you're not trying to hurt nobody. But it didn't warrant a red flag. And for those who do not watch soccer, you get two flags. A yellow flag, Val, do you know what that is?
I have no clue what a yellow flag is. Is that a warning, maybe?
There you go, ding, 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 ding. So a yellow flag is a warning. The red flag is?
You have violated. You have gone past the violation.
Right. You go straight to jail. So he already was wearing these stripes right there, red and white. So they already knew he had to go. But the crazy part about it is it really wasn't a foul. So the kid gets to sit down. Unfortunately, they didn't review the tape. FIBA put him out. It was back and forth, bickering. And as you just said, in between the game during the time, because soccer was still going on at the NBA Finals, 47th ended up on Madison Garden, and disrupted that when the Knicks could have shut it down, and they lost because they couldn't even party anywhere within 5 blocks of Madison Square Garden. So we know about that situation. Then he gets on the microphone and gets put fuel to the fire, Val. A Belgian team. So think about you and me about to play one another in let's say down on 79th, 87th Street. And I'm talking about how I'm going to kick your butt and this and that. And all of a sudden, the guy that used to coach and train me bumps into you on the L and tells you everything that I'm going to do. So now you got a cheat sheet. So when I come out there, I think I'm going to make a move to the left. You done stuck me up, move to the right, you stuck me up, and you blew me out. That's what Belgium did, because first of all, I had a very good question asked to me, Val. Very good question. I had one of my guys in the I got an older group of cats that I play golf with. And they said, Coach, if that was you, what would have been your locker room speech? And I said, this would have been my locker room speech, and I'll get you to comment on it, Val. I said, in the locker room, I said, hey, fellas, here's what we're looking at. We got a country that don't even respect us. We got a country that don't even think that we should be here. We got a place that's so big and so free. Everybody wants to get there. They are overlooking every one of you guys in this room. Now, on top of that, the world of the leading free world, the president gets on the microphone and then tells FIBA to release one of their players to play against us tonight. And not only does he says that if they get beat, then it was cheating involved. So I'm gonna need you guys to strap up your shoes, strap up your jock strap, just go out there and let's whoop they ass. And that's exactly what Belgium did, because the pressure was on the United States. With Bellingham coming back, and Pulisic, he was already hurt kind of a little bit. You got your teammate Val. If you've been out 3, 4, 5 weeks, I'm waiting on Val to come back and beat Val. But when she comes back, I'm kind of like, okay, Val, here's the ball. Go do your thing. Well, it's going to take a couple games. I've been sitting out a few games. So, unfortunately, the U.S. brought their butt home.
Yeah, and I think that it affected what happened with the U.S. team, whether it be good or bad vibes or whatever. I'm very sad that he intervened in this, because they said the last time the intervention like this happened was like in the 1960s, coach. So it's been a long time since anyone had intervened and stated, okay, we're going to reverse this. And so excellent player. He's been with the team, I think about 3 or 4 years. So, I mean, I understand that the World Cup comes around every 4 years, but they made it as far as they did. I don't know if did they make it to the semifinals, or was it just?
They made it to Elite Eight, and then they got put out. And they did great. They made it to the Elite Eight, so I respect that. But again, they just didn't come to play, Val, because again, they superstars back. You want to put the ball in the hand. Now, for promotional purposes only, for those that will bet this game tomorrow, Coach Tony's long shot to win it all, I'm giving you France. They're at 8-1. So a cool $100 bring you back about $900 to $1,000. Overall, I think France will upset. They're my long shot to win it all. The favorites to meet in the championship game, Val, is Spain with Ronaldo and Argentina with Messi. Those are the two, and that's set to meet right now, with possibility of Argentina winning it all. So France is my long shot. Argentina is my favorite.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, this is soccer is something I really, number one, have not been following. But what I have been following is some of the controversies and some of the things that have happened from that. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk about what happened with the U.S.
They stole a lot of beer.
I know. And of course, the FIFA, all of the things wrap up with the World Cup on Monday, July 20th. But guys, go ahead and check it out. It is available. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I think it was 3 countries in the North Americas that represented that. And so Canada, Mexico, and the USA. Check it out on Fox, or if you have FIFA streaming, you could check out the rest of the games on those stations. So, Coach, we're wrapping up as we at the halftime.
Correct. Unfortunately, all 3 of those countries that Val mentioned will be sitting their ass at home watching the other ones play. So
let's wrap it up. You're funny. Oh, God. And hello, Mr. Springer. Good to see you. Good gracious.
Hey, we'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, Coach Tony, and my sidekick, the one and only Val the Voice. We'll be right back.
Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Oh, here we go. Hey, the summer is here. Are you guys getting out? I'm encouraging everybody to go to that concert, outdoors that is, that festival, or do a nice long jog and or ride your bike. Get out and enjoy the summertime. And while you're out, make sure to take the Interludes podcast along with you. We stream on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you stream your podcasts. We want to personally thank you for being a part of the Interludes family.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with my girl, Val, the voice. Of course, I'm your guy, the one and only Coach Tony, sitting in the pocket. Man, that is crazy. I'm just telling you, so many people talk to me about that FIBA is just taking over the country and the money they're bringing in. But spinning on a dime, our beloved Chicago Bulls got my boy, my guy who's always on the fan appreciation show, James Ward, J-Dub. What's up, baby? Sitting down in Raleigh, North Carolina, always giving big ups. I told him two things, and both things came true. I need to download the app, Kelce.com. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read. If you got a Kelce rep, man, reach out to Coach Tony. I love the app, man. I need to get a sponsorship. Dusty May and Val, I was talking about Michigan winning it all in college, right? And that happened. Mm-hmm. Now, my guy, Coach Dusty May, my boy, he is now the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. I had to call him a few weeks ago, congratulated him on everything, and all that. But, sitting down looking at that as well, Williams, ooh, my boy, got picked up from North Kakalaka. Caleb moving to the Bulls. Oh, my goodness. He put on a show in Vegas, 35 points to lead all scorers for rookies. I'm telling you, Val, you're at home. And you guys have something to look forward in. I think that with Caleb Williams coming from North Carolina to the Chicago Bulls, the Bulls were going to build everything around him. He is as close as I've seen to a young Jordan that I've seen in a long time. The kid came in the league, outshooting Mike from the three-point line, can post up, got spin moves. It's about the same weight, about 6'6", 225, 230. Need to buck up a little bit, but the Bulls are going to have some great games on Madison this year. So make sure, Val, you get some tickets to a couple games and report to Coach Tony what you have seen. Or as Eddie Murphy said, I synced it.
We always are excited for the new kids on the block that come to our beloved Bulls, and I'm excited. And I saw his draft pick when that happened, I think about a month ago, because the draft picks for the NBA happened right after the finals.
Right at the final, right? Yeah. June 10th, I think it was.
Right in June, yeah. They wrap it up right after the finals. So he seems to be a very dynamic young individual, coach, and so we'll see what happens because it's been definitely quiet. Definitely quiet for the Bulls,
Yep, and that's what I love about the NBA, that everybody keeps arguing about the NFL. The NBA's draft is not until after the championship game of the NBA, which gives them a week. They get about a week, about 10 days, give or take. The kids who are not going to make it can pull their name out the hat and go back and take their ass back to college or go back to the G League or wherever the hell they came back from, Europe, whatever. And then the draft happens, but the championship has already occurred. So now the owners and all those guys are sitting with the people with powers that be, and they can sit and make good draft picks. Whereas the NFL doesn't do that. It's so many months down the road before the NFL does it, and it's like a 4-day process. I just really don't understand the NFL. But
here's the thing: why do you believe that the NFL has their draft so far away from when they wrap up their season in February?
I think it's because they're trying their best to pick up the kids as late as they can in the season before school gets out and before summer 7-on-7 workouts begin with college teams. Plus, football is a little different. The kids in football, if you didn't know, Val, they can't declare for the draft until they become a junior, whereas in the NBA guys can be one and done. So they can go in as a freshman and bounce to the league. Now, the WNBA girls, we'll get to that in a moment, they're the same way. They got to wait a little bit. But, and you looking at what's been going on, it's been great. I wish that, I know we got Caleb, but I wish Carlos Boozer and his son, all the great, Cameron Boozer, and he played great this summer. He's coming down here with me, Val. He'll be in Tennessee, baby, down in Memphis. So he got a great pickup at Memphis. And Debonze, he played, great tournament. So the top 5 draft pick this year in the NBA have all shown up. The game's on tonight. 4 games are slated tonight, and the championship game is coming up by the end of the weekend. So, for those that are out in Vegas right now, me and you were just talking about it, Val. We got to figure out how to get some credentials so we can get up out to Vegas for at least 3 or 4 days and interview some of these cats coming down the road.
That would be so much fun to do that, especially in Vegas, because there are so many things that are happening in Vegas right now. And of course, it speaks to how the kids are going to be doing when they get with the main team. So if they learn how to vibe with everyone who's being a rookie on the court there in Vegas, they can definitely vibe once they get with the veterans of the respective teams that they're going to.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. Where LeBron going?
He is going back to Cleveland.
Ooh, so y'all heard it from Val.
Mm-hmm.
That's for promotional purposes. Those who do have Kelsey, you can bet that. You know what I mean? You can bet what Val just said. Hey, now don't get me wrong. Val whooped Coach Tony's ass this year when he came down to the finals. She had the picks right. She went all the way and had the NBA championship game correctly picked. San Antonio lost to the Knicks, so she knocked me out. But I think LeBron, I love, if you haven't heard what Steph Curry said the other day, he gave the best response, Val, of anybody I've heard. He was like, if you look at LeBron, it's not about the money. He's already stacked up with that. He's got his school, he's got his movie, he's got Maverick, he's got all his boys, he got his agent. All 5 of his homies that came up, he done put their ass on. So they grinded. So it ain't about the money. It's about the opportunity to go someplace that he feels that he can play basketball at his highest level with an opportunity to win at least one more ring before he walks out the door. Now, obviously, he won't catch Mike. He won't catch Jordan. Nah. But to put at least one more ring on his finger be great. And I think, Val, you give a great synopsis because playing with James Harden and playing with Donovan, which is nicknamed Spider, back in Cleveland with Mobley and those guys, they already got 4 guys in Cleveland right now, and they made it to the Final Four this year. They just couldn't get over that East Coast hump, which we had Big Body Brunson with the Knicks, right? Because the Knicks was just, I think, you talked about that. It was just destined for the Knicks, I think, to win it this year. But to add LeBron back into Cleveland, interesting. I think the other interesting move would be who I just said, with LeBron going west to California, play golf every day, go from West California down in Southern Cal to Northern Cal with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and them boys up there and the young crew he got in Golden State. And I think that's the only 2 moves LeBron's got. And me personally, I have to bet. I would bet him either in Cleveland's uniform, like you said, or going to Golden State. Those are my 2 teams.
Well, this is my cheat sheet. I'd like to be on and off Instagram, and this was posted to LeBron's Instagram 3 days ago. All of the highlights of him in a jersey with the C on it, representing Cleveland. Yeah. So I don't know what this is saying to everybody. I'm getting the vibes. He's going to return to Cleveland.
You see this, right? If they ask me, I'm coming back to the side. I'm coming back home.
Chicago, what does that say? Let me take this graphic down.
Look at this.
Chicago Giants?
Yeah, y'all know about that.
Chicago. What's the Chicago Giants? What is that, Coach?
Your homework right there, 1910 and 1930, back in the day.
Neither one of us was around when that happened. Why are we bringing up the Chicago Giants? Was there a basketball team?
No, that's the old Negro League, baseball, Chicago Giants.
Oh, the Negro League. Okay, all right.
Always putting us out on that love, one love. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to wear something that you got to ask a question about, but it's always educational. You feel me?
I feel you. There you go. That's what's up.
But I like Val's response. For those for promotional purposes, LeBron back with the C's across his chest back home. And Val, that makes good sense to me because you bring it home to where you started, right? Take it back to Cleveland. And to me, that would be the best rodeo show in the country. I think if he goes to Golden State is great and try to get a ring, whatever. I think he's past that. I think he wants to do the rodeo show where you get a rocking chair, maybe a Harley Davidson rolled out on the floor, maybe a big necklace, whatever it may be, some new golf clubs. But I think the rodeo show means much more in Cleveland than it would in any place else in the country.
Yeah, and keep in mind, how far did Cleveland get to in the semifinals?
They made it to the final four.
Yeah,
they made it. They got their ass whooped by the Knicks. But come on, now the Knicks was the Knicks. They was at the crib chilling. You know, it was destined for Big Bronson, Jalen Brunson, to do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Chicago made, for those Knicks people that don't know, that's the Chi-Town boy, right? The Chicago kid. You know, Stevenson High School, north side of the city, baby. Don't let me stamp him like that.
And that's the reason why. And another reason why I was pulling for New York, because that was another person that came from our hometown, Chicago. Yeah. And then to be there with his dad.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, be there with Rick. It was good. Rick played in the same squad. But I like what his dad said. I was listening to, he was on CBS in the morning and talking to Gail, and Gail asked him, who is the greatest Knick of all time right now? Would that be your son or whom? Do you know what his dad said?
I have no clue.
Who would be your greatest Knick of all time? Do you even know the players, give or take?
If I was to think about the greatest, I knew Ewing because he was playing against us when we were hot, but it would have to go back to the players that won, that was in the winning seasons in the early 70s. Yeah.
To them boys. Well, to your contrary, you had it right before you went to 73. His dad said the all-time greatest Knick of all is Patrick Ewing. You know, Patrick with the Knicks uniform like Jordan. So the only place he did play is, you know, in New York. And he was Mr. New York, and the stats he put up, and he said, hey, man, if my son can play 10, 12, 13, 14 years, maybe 10 years, because he's already been 5 or 6 in the league, if he can finish out the next 8 to 10 years, be great. But the one good thing, he just sold his jersey last week, Val. Did you see what it went off for?
It was like 10 million or some wild number like that.
1 million, but it was the highest jersey ever sold for $1 million in a Knicks uniform. No other player have ever sold the jersey. Now, it may go up to 8, 9, 10, 12 million is what they say, but the initial purchase, $1 million. Big Bronson, big body Bronson.
Wow. So that just means that his worth has gone way up, and it's because of the diligent work that the both of them did, because his father is a coach with the Knicks. And then, of course, so many things. I just loved how cool he was. So, major kudos to both Jalen and his dad, because all of them, they're all champions. And at 53 years, why did it take so long? Oh, my God.
Hey, that just goes to show how difficult it is to win a championship. And speaking of that, we're going to talk about the women on their side of the house in the championship, and we'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Val, pay these last bill of the night so we can talk about these women in the WNBA. We'll be right back.
Woohoo!
Talk to me. Who you got?
I mean, just look at the lineup on the Millennials. You got Steph Curry, best 3-point shooter in of all time. Matter of fact, we got Kevin Durant, KD, you know, Slim Reaper, one of the best players, you know. We got Harden, Joker, and of course, LeBron James, the GOAT of basketball himself. And, you know, he's the all-time leading scorer, you know, brings teams from the bottom all the way to the top. Without him, I mean, man.
I'm going to answer that in a minute.
Basketball even be?
I'm going to give you that in a minute. But, okay, Coach Justin, what you got?
Man, it's tough. I'm thinking about it. Magic is going to be AI. Jordan is going to be Kobe. Shaq is going to get the edge on Hakeem Olajuwon. Tim Duncan is going to get the edge on Charles Barkley. Larry may have the edge. Millennials, I got to X out the Millennials just because they have James Harden on there. If they might replace him with someone else that I could think of, I probably would pick the Millennials over everybody.
Let's go. Let's go. podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Fan appreciation show is coming up next month. Coach, you excited?
I'm excited. I got to send a big shout out to my nephew who dropped that track, by the way. He's got a brand new rap song coming out. And I told him I want to make sure he jump back on our show to premiere it. So he'll probably be back on Interludes Talk on Tuesday, or if not, he'll pull up on me here on the Pull Up Podcast show. But man, I'm excited, pumped up on everything, Val. It's been crazy because, you know, when the NBA finished, I had a lot of my buddies, and I said the same thing, like, man, there ain't going to be nothing on TV. And it just happened to be the year of FIBA. Then it was the year of this, and then the WNBA popped off. And this year, we're not talking about Caitlin Clark. We're not. We're talking about these rookies that are getting in. A'ja Wilson and what she's doing right now, Val, is insane. 2 brand new teams that the WNBA introduced, which is the Toronto Temple and the Portland Fire. Both of them are brand new to the league. They're both playing very well, up and down. And of all people, the Minnesota Lynx right now is leading with my girl Becca, Paige Becker. She hell it. And they picked up AZ Fudd from Connecticut. So they got 2 Connecticut girls in connection with each other in Dallas with the what's my girl, little point guard? I can't, Ajabuka. With her at the point, right. Man, Dallas is tough. They Chicago. What pisses me off is I watched the game last night, and the Fire, the Sky rather, had an opportunity to close out. They played Dallas 3 times this year, Val. They've been up on Dallas 13, 15, and 17 points, kind of like the damn San Antonio, and let the Knicks come back. They let Dallas come back, and it was a great game down the stretch last night. Chicago gets upset again, lost by 4. But the WNBA is here to stay. Record crowd last night, Val, in Dallas for the Chicago Sky game. That they had tickets outside. People couldn't even get in. So, I mean, Breanna Stewart back in New York, the Liberty's doing their thing, and A'ja Wilson out in Vegas. I'm loving what the WNBA is doing right now.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at some of the things that I'm seeing on AJ's side. She is leading this 2026 WNBA season with 25.5 points per game. This is exciting.
Again.
What happened?
Again, I said, yeah, she's working out with her boyfriend down there in Miami, so he's teaching their ass how to post up and kill.
She's been doing 11 rebounds per game, and then assists has been about almost 8. And so she's leading, and I think right behind with the rebound, she's right behind Jessica Shepard, and then also, and she's right behind Angel Reese. With
Reese just set another record, even though she in Atlanta. What made me so damn mad? They let her go with Cardoso, Val, and she's averaging a double-double.
Don't understand why they go. I'm totally mad about that, Coach.
But here's something
in Chicago.
Here's something that you can get very happy and smile about, because I know my man was watching the show. Our guy, my man's in them, your guy, Coach Dottie Dunson, head coach of Lewis University, Romeoville, Illinois, Val. He got chosen to be one of the ambassador coaches for what? For the WNBA All-Star Weekend, man. Big shout outs, big shout outs to Coach, man. I appreciate him. I talk to him all the time. And so he'll be down as one of the ambassador people helping out doing All-Star Weekend, which is in Chicago. For those that don't know, July 24th, 5th, and 6th at the United Center, Val. They're not even going to play this at the where the Sky play. They're going to move this to the United Center. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a ridiculous crowd coming in for that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And he is a friend to the show and has been over at Lewis for a couple of years. Lewis University, locally here in just outside of Chicago. And of course, we want to give him wonderful congratulations for all of the major things that he's accomplishing, not only as a coach there with Lewis, but the things that are yet to come.
Oh, yeah, man, he's a big-time leader, man of God, family guy, you know, and and I'm always getting an opportunity to communicate with him on a daily basis, about this and that and what he's doing. And it's been just awesome to see the growth. And I can't wait to put up and pick on the sideline, to get on the sideline with him, Val, so we can get these girls going sometime in the near future. We'll be telling y'all on the Pull Up Podcast show, Coach Tony sitting on the sideline with Coach Dottie doing the damn thing.
Oh my gosh. Well, with the WNBA, have the salaries gone up, Coach?
Ooh, hey, and that's why they playing the way they playing right now, Val. They get the meal piece somehow. Asia, I know you call it AJ sometimes, but it's Asia Wilson. Asia gets one of the largest contracts there is this year, and it's wonderful, Val, because these young women can now call themselves millionaires. You know what I mean? They had to first call themselves thousandaires. Yeah, I'm making about $1,000. I'm $1,000. Now I'm a good millionaire, with a good financial guy and people in their corner. They're getting incentives. You got Unrivaled Basketball that comes up. You also got the Athletes Unlimited. So you got two major leagues that's in between. And now you also got the Upshot League. For those that don't know, that's the brand new league that just started alongside the WNBA. They're doing very, very well right now. Shout out to my girl Sheila Gibson here, been on our show as well. But the WNBA, 30 years this year, Val, since 1996, 30th anniversary. They just turned 30, and the league is doing great. And to see them finally pay these girls, do you see the fans now, Val? These arenas are selling out ridiculous.
I don't see empty seats like I used to see back in the day with the WNBA now. I think the excitement of some of our rookies over the last 2 years have kind of re-incentivized not only the fans, but to say we did not know that the women were not making as much or not even coming even in the ballpark as the bench player on the NBA. But we want to make sure that we support these women. And I am so excited. The WNBA is having their All-Star game coming up in our hometown at the United Center on Saturday, July 25th. Coach, don't you wish you could come up and check them out in person? Man,
let me tell you something. And for the promotional purposes only, I'm going to give you one. The WNBA Rookie of the Year is none other than my girl, the guard from Minnesota Lynx. We talk about Minnesota again, Olivia Miles. That girl is hot to try. TCU grad, came over to the WNBA, and this game was made for her. And I love what she's been doing. She's got them goggles on, running around the court like she AC Green back in the day with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But she's dropping dimes, doing everything like a baby Pete Murray was doing with LSU on the men's side of the house. But the WNBA, the brand, Val, is finally getting noticed. The women are playing. And what the good thing about what's going on right now, too, with this, Val, is leaking over into college. Over into college because with these girls at the WNBA being so very well, they're getting paid. Now the college girls and the college game is now growing to the point where they're now picking up more money. They're getting themselves putting on some deals. And by the way, and Val will know because I talk about her all the time. We've been quiet on her, but she's back on the set this year coming off of a knee injury. My girl Juju Watkins from USC. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know who the hell Juju is, you better do some homework. She's back in the saddle. And Juju, your boy, love you. So get up on the Pull Up Podcast show. Holler at your boy. Hey.
I knew eventually you would be pitching and approaching the ladies to come on to the show. I totally get that, but of course we're continuing to watch. We're continuing to watch.
You're right there.
The prediction is she's going to be the WNBA Rookie of the Year. So I'm going to see what you say for promotional purposes only.
For promotional,
clear your throat.
Olivia Miles will be the WNBA Rookie of the Year. So put that on there. And Asia Wilson will come back as probably the Defensive Player of the Year. Angel Reese will probably win everything underneath that. I think those three are a given. And
but top rebounder, that could be it. That could be one of them.
But I think All-Star Weekend, for what Coach Dottie say, Val, Chicago going to be off the hook. The city been off the grind right now. I mean, coming off a taste of Chicago, I heard a comment And Jennifer said it out the other night. Then you go right to the chosen few. And then my beloved White Sox, man. What up, Cubs? Anyway, my White Sox is balling again. First place in the American League Central. Man, let's do the damn thing, Val. Come on now.
I think we are a sports town, Coach, and also we love our entertainment. And so I'm excited for all the things that have happened, but what is going to happen, because the summer's not over yet. We got still some great things happening. So come through Saturday, July 25th for the WNBA All-Star. It's going to be wonderful, and it'll be the home that Jordan built, the United Center.
And for those that don't know, you'll see him outside like this. On the statue, you know what I mean?
He'll be doing this. You'll see the statue doing this.
Yeah. With the tongue out too. And you got to have the tongue out.
The tongue on the statue, you got Joe.
But but listen, on the real, man, thank you for tuning in. Next week on the Pull Up Podcast Show, do not miss this show. We talked earlier about Serena Williams. We talked about Coco. We talked about Osaka. My girl, my personal client, signed to the Rise NIL sports marketing company, where we brand a lot of the brands, a lot of the athletes together, making sure the brands and the athletes are doing very well. My young girl right here, 16 years old, Boca Raton, Florida right now. Mom Colette and Dad Stan has been in the corner, and she's been doing great. Thank you very much, dear them, for hooking us up on a great brand deal. My guy Sam Cipriano, Lauren, everybody's in house. That's the team putting everything together. Val, you're putting your eyes on the next young lady to come up in this tennis market, and we got our hands on her, and she's going to be in the house next week on Monday on the Pull Up Podcast Show, talking about her experiences that she's had and how well she's done. By the way, Val, her and her girlfriend, good friend rather, met in Belgium, and they hooked up and won the doubles. And she also won a couple of events. So this young lady is on the grind right now. And we've already got about 6 or 7 D1 offers on the table, but we're going pro. We're going to go pro.
Well, congratulations.
So get in right now. You better get in. You better call Coach Tony right now and get in early, because right now you can get in on a good ticket. Later on, it's going to cost you. Like Marge said, it may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot. But it's gonna cost you.
Guys, you can scan the QR code that you see at the right above my head here and find out more about the Rise NIL.com with Coach Tony. And of course, he helps young athletes unleash their potential and to get the great branding, name, image, and likeness deals. Coach Tony, we're so excited. And of course, we are happy to be hyped for what? For the next episode. Woo-hoo.
Man, thank you for putting up on me, man. We are just going to be excited. I got a crazy Chicago cat. I'm not going to even tell you. I'm working on him to come on the show. It's going to be off the roof. He's a trainer, and those that do know about Jock, Coach Jock, I'm working on getting him on the show. But man, Val, thank you for sitting sidekick today. I appreciate you very much. Like Batman and Robin, thank you for everybody for tuning in. I know I'm going crazy right now. I'm about to knock the microphone off and everything, Val.
Time to wrap up the show. Okay, here we go.
Peace. The Rise, NIL. What are we? We're a sports marketing company brought to you in 2023, helping all of our athletes unleash their potential. We're in the sports world. Because what? The NIL, name, image, and likeness, is where the athletes play. So in order to do that, we want to make sure we help them maximize their earning potential, along with the brands that operate with them. So if you need to know some more information and how you can be a part of The Rise, reach out to us at information@therise.com or type in www.therisenil.com.
Pull Up Podcast, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, It's the Pull Up Podcast. 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 Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know it's the Pull Up Podcast. So I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know it's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So I said Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.